Okay, so we just disconnected the trailer from the truck, so that's why it's lifted up so high. Before we disconnected the trailer from the truck, what we did do is we put these orange wedges under the tires on this side and the other side, so that that's before we disconnected the trailer, so the camper doesn't roll forward. So now what we're going to do is level the camper. That's the first thing you do when you set it up. So I have a level here. Stay there. I have a level here. I'm going to set it right above the wheel. So it's the center right on the wheel. And then I can watch it from here. And I'm just going to let it go down until I see it about level. I have to go a little bit further. Boy, that's pretty good. Maybe one more turn. Okay, so that's level. So that's level front to back. Now what we need to do is put the wheels or the supports down. So with that, I'm going to get the tool for the crane. Okay. Put it down. So one thing we're going to do is straighten out the pad. Turn it a little bit so that as it rotates, it hits the ground flush. So very important, when you put the pad down, you give it a little half turn once it's seated. And we do this all the way around. Now, put it here. You don't have to do all these. Okay, so I put that pad down, and I put all the pads down. So this pad is down, and I have the level here because what I did was I kept playing with the pads in order to get level from left to right. So you do that with the front and you do it with the back, and you just want to get it reasonably level, and that's really important. I'm going to take down the latches. Just release the latches before we lift the lid. All four are released, and now you just lift up. What's important is as you start to crank, you should hear the ticking motion. That means it's a locking mechanism that'll, as you stop, it'll hold the camper. That's what that is, a locking mechanism. Very, very important. And then the crank for this camper is about 57 times. If you want, you can count so you know if you're close. Okay, that was about 57 times. Okay, so we just lifted the top, and now we're going to put up the canopy as our next step. So I'm just going to pull the zipper, and I'm holding the canopy so it won't come out. Now obviously we chose to raise the lid all the way. I'm tall, I can reach it, but you can raise it about 3/4 of the way and get much better access to it. So I'm just letting it unroll in my hands. And what's in the canopy are these support rods that are necessary to pull the canopy away from the camper and keep it structurally sound. So as I roll this out, the other supports will come into place. And the first thing I'm going to do, there's a third one here. The first thing I'm going to do is put the center support in, and that'll hold the canopy out. So I'm going to take one of these supports that I dropped onto the ground, and up at the top here. All right, so what we're going to do is I've looped the pole around this this loop, and then there's a hole. There's a hole on the underside. There's a hole on the underside, and I'm just going to fasten it there. We'll do that with the other sides here. There's no loop here. We don't need it because it holds by itself because of the rubber end of the pole. You can start to. So I already put the other rod on. Now I'm going to lift this. I'm going to make this. We'll come back to this one. I'm going to set this one. Then we'll set the height of this pole. Now we're intentionally going to leave this side low. And I'm going to raise this side get a nice angle on the tent. Maybe we'll go one more. Actually, the more dramatic the angle, the better for a downpour. Whenever there's a downpour, all your water will go to one side as opposed to collecting in the middle. So from there, you'll just you'll stake down the tethers into the ground on each side, and that's it. All right, now that we have it up, the first tenting that comes out is the dinette bay tenting. We don't slide out the bay, we're just getting the canvas out of the way. And then we're going to slide out the bed in the back. It should come out nice and easy. If it doesn't come out easy, something is holding it back. But you just pull it out all the way. Okay, so the first thing before you do anything is to get the supports on to keep the bed from going in. So underneath, there's this rod that's connected to the underside, and it has to go on this screw. And so I'm just going to lift with my back a little bit and put it on. What's very important is that the bar has to be pressed up against this washer, because you can set this thing on the edge, and that's not right. What you need to do is make sure the bar is pushed up against this washer here. Okay, so then you do that on both sides. Okay, now we're going to lift up the support for the tenting. So I'm holding my hand right here on the bar, and I'm just going to lift up and get it extended all the way. Okay? Once that is extended, the next most important thing is you get the tenting off on the corners. And then we do the bungee cords. So the bungee cord, there's a hook right here. So what I like to do first is get the hook on both sides. So first I'm going to do it here, and then I'm going to go and do it to the other side. And we got it on this side. This just ensures that there's equal tension all the way around. Now I'm just going to follow the bungee cord and put it on these little hooks underneath. Alright, now the front bed. Just very similar, a few slight variations. So first, again, we're going to put the supports in. These supports are a little different. Again, they're just fastened underneath. I just lift up on my back, and this is a nice stud to put the support in. There's no mistake there. I think we're good, right? Okay, so then we're going to put up the tenting support. So again, I'm locating the bar, and I'm just going to push it all the way up. I put the corners on both sides, and the next thing is the bungee cord. So I just take the hook, just like in the front, I hook it on the bottom, I hook it on the other side, and then I go and bungee all the rest of the tenting down from below. Now we're ready to slide out the bay. So there's these latches, locking mechanisms. You turn it 90 degrees, and then there are handles here that you just slide the bay out. And it just kind of locks into place. And there's a bar, just like on the other parts. You take the bar and push it out. Now the one thing you do right away is you got this Velcro, and there's a snap. So first find the snap, Velcro the tenting into the corners, the water. Same on the other side. Okay, now let's go in, and we're going to put up the kitchen area, and we're going to put down the door. Just going to unlock it. Let's go inside. The sink and the cooktop. Slip that into place. And now we're going to take down the screen door. The first thing we're going to do is this is fastened to the ceiling. We're going to take these little snaps, and it's held up by some wires so we can let that hang. We're going to come to the bottom of the door, release this mechanism here, and I'm simply letting it drop, and there's slides along the ceiling that allow me to slide the door into place. So I'm just going to fit it into the jam. Move the tenting. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lock the door into place. There's these latches here that just secure the door from the top. And then the first thing you want to do is get the window, the Velcro from this side of the window on. We'll start from the bottom, and I'm just kind of stretching it onto the Velcro. Puts the window tight. Secure all the Velcro. And we'll do that on both sides. I like to start from the bottom. There we are. There's a little air in here, and then we just have a little Velcro on the other side of the door. Okay, so the next thing is to put up the supports for the tenting, and we hide those, or we store those underneath the mattress. So there's one here, a small one. This is for the tenting in the bay window, and there's a hole in the support, and there's this point. You just put this extension into the hole, and then there's a support on the ceiling. It's already adjusted for the right size, and you secure it into place. Now I'll do the front bag. Same thing. There's a point. I'm going to put it in the hole. And secure it into place. We do that on that side. And on the back. Pretty easy, just like that. Now the tenting is up, so we can open up our windows, and then from here, let's put the the couch together. So with the couch, it's pretty easy. Just like that. We have carpets. Okay, the carpets are there. And I did that because there are 2 arm cushions for the couch. There's the couch. Now we'll put up the dinette table. With the dinette table, first we'll take cushions out from underneath the storage, and then we will we'll put up the dinette table. So it's Velcro down, so I'm just going to lift it from the Velcro. You'll hear it come apart. And I'm going to take the table and put it over here. It'll be a lot easier to put up. We have this nice little Velcro kind of belt that kept the leg secure. And you just kind of lock into place. And I put this belt back on here when we put it away. We take the table. There you go. Now, when we put up the cushions, the most important thing is you lift up these metal flaps, and you'll see in a minute why they come in handy. Notice the buttons here in the bottom. Those buttons secure into this corner. So you're going to put the pad in and make sure this plastic button or plastic extension is inside the corner. And then you slide it forward. And then you take your backing. Now we know why this is here, because it helps support this part of the seat with that metal backing. And then we just simply do it on the other side. Alright, last thing was just put down our little toiletry area. We have a little paper towel roll here. And then from here you can open up all the windows and finish making your beds and so forth. But that's it. We just put up the camper. We're gonna do 2 last things. One is to light the hot water heater. So first you want to turn on the gas, and if you listen, when you turn it on, it shouldn't click. If it clicks, that means the emergency release valve went off, and you got to close it again, and then just open it up about a 3/4 or a full turn. And this is the hot water heater. And if you come on this side, you'll see that first of all it's in the off position. You turn it on to pilot, and when you push down it gives gas to the place where you're going to light. So inside here I'm going to hold down the pilot, light my butane lighter, and then there's a hole. You can see where I just lit it. In the there's an opening in this elbow that looks like my finger, and there's an opening right in here, and that's where the pilot is lit. And you can hear it. Now I'm holding down the pilot. You hold that down for about 30 seconds, and then when you release it, you just look to make sure that the pilot light is still on. Once you're sure that that's going to stay on, you put it in the on position, and you can hear the firing. Now it's starting to heat the hot water tank. Okay, now we're going to put the refrigerator on propane. So we'll open up the cabinet here, and if you look inside, there's different settings. There's a setting for gas, there's a setting for DC or battery, and there's a setting for AC, or when you're plugged in, you're wired into, you're plugged into electric. We're going to turn it on to gas, and then there's a valve here on the right. We take it on the off position, we put it on high cool, and then we open up this little this flap so we can see the pilot. So now it's a multiple step process where you push down this button, which gives gas to this chamber. This red button is the little clicker inside that will ignite and ignite the pilot light. So I'm going to push down, it gives gas. Now I just clicked it, and if you see inside here, there's a blue flame. I'm holding down the gas pilot, the gas, the supply, and I'm going to hold it down for about 30 seconds so we make sure that there's enough gas coming through. Once I'm certain that that's there, I have enough gas, I'll let go, I'll look inside, I'll make sure the blue flame is still there, and then I'll adjust if I want a low cool or high cool. And if you leave it on high cool, it will eventually freeze your vegetables, so you might start with high cool and you might temper it back. And that's it.